reporting, no late fees assessed for 6 months, beginning today, if you enroll. Now, the world of the good is no more. So a lot of things are going to change.
All right, guys, welcome back to the video. So I am getting ready to call my mortgage company. This is the only mortgage I currently have on the real estate that I own. We've seen a dramatic hit to income because of this situation, as have most businesses. And I'm interested to find out what the experience will be like firsthand when I get on the phone with my service provider and actually see what my options are. We first learned when we broke the news on this that the government was obviously providing part of the stimulus package to the banks in order to provide these both deferral and forbearance options to borrowers. And I was more optimistic that the deferment aspect of this was going to be more common, but it really sounds in the comments of that video that you guys are seeing a lot of challenges getting your lenders to agree to tack on what your delayed payments end up being to the end of your loan. And ultimately, you're ending up having to pay those actually once your payments resume again. So for instance, if you have a 90-day forbearance, you have 3 months of delayed payments. Starting on that 4th month when your payment resumes, you would be obligated for those previous 3 payments as well, meaning you'd have to come up with 4 payments all at once. That is, of course, going to be impossible for a huge percentage of borrowers. So that was really disappointing to me to see that in so many comments. We're seeing huge hold times by a lot of these banks based on what you guys are providing with your feedback. So please put your comments below after this video. I'm going to give this a shot myself. I want to see exactly how this works out with my service provider, who is Arvest Central Mortgage. I don't even know who those guys are, honestly. This was the bank that my mortgage ended up being sold to. So I want to see if this has been more streamlined since that video first broke. Perhaps they've ironed out some of the kinks. Maybe it's just as bad or even worse at this point. Let's see what options they provide me. I'm going to do that before I jump to conclusions here, because I have a lot of questions I want to get answered in this that will hopefully help you guys. I'll also throw some of the questions in the description for you below to remind you to ask your service provider when you make a phone call for yourself. If you have experienced any shortage of income, any loss of income, or expect to, it's my personal recommendation that now is the time to try and take advantage of a preservation approach of as much liquidity as possible and not unnecessarily spend, because we have to conserve. We don't want to run out if this thing extends any longer than we hope it does. So even if you currently can afford to make your payments, but you're worried that you won't be able to make your payments here in the near future, I think it makes sense to get on the phone and start to explore your options. Let's make this call together and see how it goes.
How can I assist you today?
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
We're good.
Good. Yeah, I'm just calling to find out what my options are as far as deferring my payment.
I'll be happy to speak to you about that. What is your name?
My name is Matthew Pillmore.
Mr. Fillmore, we have in place for all of our homeowners a 6-month forbearance, no payment, no credit reporting, no late fees assessed for 6 months, beginning today if you enroll.
Okay.
You can enroll through our auto phone free. You should have heard a mention of COVID-19 when you called in and got me. All you need is your loan number and your social. The recording will ask you specific questions, but it's fairly quick because I've listened to it many, many times. At the end of the question and answer, it will ask you if you are ready to accept this forbearance plan, and then it'll ask you if you want us to mail or email the agreement. If we don't have an email, well, then you would choose regular mail, of course.
Sure, I can add an email address for that reason, no problem.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back to there. Okay, you will be automatically enrolled at the end of the call today. So do you you have any questions regarding that before I get you transferred right over?
I do, actually. Yes, thank you. I'm curious, based on this forbearance, up to 6 months you mentioned, so 180 days, which is very helpful, thank you. How is that then repaid following the 6-month period?
The 6-month forbearance may be extended to 12 months if needed. After the completion of your forbearance plan, our homeowners assistance department will be in touch with you to check on your on the ability you would have to reinstate your loan or look at a repayment plan. If neither a reinstatement nor a repayment plan is feasible at that time, permanent options may include a payment deferral to the end of your loan or a loan modification, dependent upon your situation. So, basically we're saying, who in the world knows what will be happening?
Fair enough. Sounds like we're all in the same boat, right? Who in the heck knows?
We have got new information every day. First it was a 3 months. Then Congress passed the CARE Act, and now it's 6 months. And who knows what will be in the works between now and the end of the 6-month forbearance. But it is just immediate help.
Yes.
And it's, hopefully it's going to turn, and, we'll be out of this eventually, sooner than later.
You got that right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the insight. And so it's pretty much sounding to me like a month by month. Once I receive a confirmation of that forbearance acceptance in writing, I can essentially consider that permission then to stop making my payments, correct?
Oh, yes. You don't even have to get it. You don't even have to get the document, because it's nothing that you have to sign. It is all automated now. It's just something for you to have in your file. We don't need anything returned. At the end of the call, your account will show forbearance agreement approved.
And how will that affect my credit, Brenda?
It will not.
Okay. And are there fees associated with these delayed payments?
No fee.
And last question then, if you could help about escrowing. What about my taxes and insurance?
They will continue to be paid.
And so you guys they'll be paid, because those are obviously included in my monthly payment. So will they be paid outside of that payment by me, independent of that monthly payment to you?
No.
It'll just become a shortage of the escrow, and then you guys will recoup that. I see.
Yeah. We'll be, there's, the world as we knew it is no more. So a lot of things are going to change. But we'll be paying Chaffee County, it looks like we'll be paying them in May, for this spring installment. And then we'll be paying your homeowner's insurance in May as well. So that'll carry on just as usual.
Okay, very well. And then from here, you transfer me to the automated system, and I simply just go through the system to arrange this, or you finalize it for me?
Yes. No, sir. It's you. And all you'll need, Mr. Fillmore, is your loan number and social to get started with those questions.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough, and I'm sure you're getting calls like this all day, every day. So thank you for everything you're doing on your end. I'm sure it's probably difficult.
Well, it's just like, I'm an old grandmother. I've been here a long time, and I'm thinking I'm in the twilight zone. It just saddens me that here we are. I have to just keep Kleenex handy, because I'm just so emotional about it. But I think we all are. And so anyway, we just gotta hang tough and keep on keeping on. That's all you can do.
That's true. Well, you've been very helpful today. So stay strong, stay healthy, Thank you very, very much.
Yes.
And I guess I'll just wait.
You too.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Let me, so then I just hang on the line here and you'll get me over to the system?
Yes. You
Okay.
stay right there, and I'll get you transferred over in about 3 seconds.
Okay. That sounds great. Thank you, friend.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Enter the last 4 digits of the borrower's social security number, followed by the pound sign.
If you are calling due to a COVID-19 hardship or
If your loan is due for more than one payment, press 6. To repeat this message, press pound.
if you are calling regarding COVID-19 hardship, please press 1. Otherwise, press 2. Are you experiencing a hardship due to COVID-19? Please be advised you must answer all of the following questions in order to be reviewed for assistance options. Press 1 for yes or 2 for no. Were you or a member of the household quarantined for COVID-19? Press 1 if you were quarantined. Press 2 if a member of your household was. Or press 3 for no. Press pound. Is your hardship temporary or permanent? Press 1 if it will be temporary. Press 2 if it will be permanent. Press 3 if it is unknown at this time. Press pound to repeat this message.
Gotta go with 3.
Was your income impacted? Press 1 if you are receiving reduced income. Press 2
A lot of
if
reduced
you're not
income.
receiving any income.
2
Press
is
3
none.
if other household income has been reduced. Press pound to repeat this message. When was your income impacted? Press 1 for currently impacted. Or press 2 if you anticipated being impacted.
Current.
Press pound to repeat this message. How was your income impacted? Press 1 for lack of child care. Press 2 for employer reduced hours. Press 3 for employer closed. Press 4 for self-employed and business is slow. Press 5 for illness. Press 6 for other reasons. Press
4,
pound to repeat.
self-employed.
Do you know how long you will be affected at this time? Press 1 for 1 to 2 months. Press 2 for 3 to 4 months. 3 for 5 months to 1 year. Or 4 for unknown at this time.
4, unknown.
Is this property your primary residence, rental, or second home? Press 1 for primary residence, 2 for rental, or 3 for second home. Press
Right
pound
now,
to repeat.
primary.
Is this property occupied? Press 1 for yes or 2 for no. Press pound to repeat.
Occupied.
Congratulations, you qualify to receive a forbearance plan. A forbearance gives you full relief from payment for a specific period of time. It will allow you time to improve your circumstance. During the forbearance term, which is typically 6 months, your credit reporting will be suspended, and you will not be assessed late fee. If you are able to make a full or even partial payment throughout the forbearance period, it will be applied to your loan. The full amount owed will be due at the end of the forbearance term. If you are unable to bring your loan current at that time, there are additional options possibly available to you. All other available assistance options will include a payment plan and are designed to help you resume payment after your current hardship has been resolved. These may include, but are not limited to, payment deferral relief solution, repayment plan, modification, etc. We will insert the terms of your approved forbearance to reflect on your loan and will be sending you an agreement with the detailed terms. This agreement does not need to be signed and returned to us. We will reach out to you 30 days prior to the expiration date of your forbearance. If you agree to this forbearance, press 1. If you do not agree, press 2. If you would like us to send the agreement to the email address we have on file, please press 1. If you would like it mailed to the mailing address on file,
Your request has been submitted. Goodbye.
Wow, I have to admit that went way better than I expected it to. First and foremost, shout out to Arvist Central Mortgage. The customer service rep there was obviously phenomenal. I mean, what a sweetheart. The fact that she keeps Kleenexes on her desk and is getting emotional every day at work over this thing is just goes to show you the kind of heart that she had. A couple quick thoughts and takeaways for you on this. First and foremost, you have to remain skeptical when it comes to banks and lenders. Even if she has all of the best intentions and she's referring or relaying information exactly as it's been told to her. She's not the one in charge here. And if in fact I do start delaying my mortgage payments, thinking that it's been deferred or that there's been a forbearance applied here, the fact is, unless I have written confirmation on this, it could end up showing up unexpectedly on my credit. And then all of those years of hard work are all going to go to waste and my borrowing strength is going to be down the tubes. So my recommendation to you is don't just simply take your bank's word for it. You've got to make sure you get it in writing. The second piece that I would recommend here is, look, we have suffered with income, as have many of you. If your income is already being compromised or if you expect it to in the future, it is my recommendation that you get on the phone with your mortgage provider, your servicer of the mortgage that you have, and you ask what your options currently are. It's good to know and even pursue. Because look, if this thing drags on, which we're all hoping it doesn't, but if it happens to, you're gonna wanna be prepared and you're gonna wanna restrict your spending and conserve your money as much as possible. So certainly take advantage of it if you think that there is any possibility whatsoever that the need will be there. If you're confident that your income is going to continue forward, then my recommendation is to continue to pay as much as you can, if not your entire payments each month. You could hear there in at least this service provider's conversation that she said we can accept partial or full payments anytime. So it is my objective to continue to make payments as agreed in order to prevent this massive lump sum being due. Can you imagine getting 12 months down the road and on month 13, after having 13 delayed mortgage payments, I owe all of those at $2,700 and change? Guys, it would be a huge hit. Most people are not going to be able to afford a blow like that. So really important to make sure that you remember throughout this process that this is not some forgiveness period and suddenly the balances aren't due anymore. They absolutely will be. Okay, so the most common forbearance reaction that we've been hearing here on the channel and in the comments has been that banks are only offering 90 days, 3 months, and on the 4th month after that forbearance period, all 4 payments are going to be due at the same time. So not real helpful if you ask me. Hopefully the banks will begin to become more flexible, but it is my, speculated caution that they're going to become really restrictive on liquidity. It's going to become more and more difficult for them as people are calling and taking advantage of this to offer as many options as they even would want to if they could. So the earlier the better on this. Treat it with urgency. Get on the phone, find out what your bank will do for you, and let us know in the comments section below. One last thing here quickly. I am giving away a pair of AirPod Pros just to help lighten this, the mood a little bit around here lately. I think giveaways are going to be more fun. In order to apply for this, you have to be a subscriber. You got to like the video and also leave a comment. You've got to be a commenter, but send an email to airpods@vipfinancialeducation.com with your first name, last name, phone number, and AirPods in the subject line. And I'll be calling audience members, viewers just like you, starting Monday at noon Mountain Daylight Time. And I'll start asking questions about the FICO credit scoring formula. It'll be a pop quiz. The first person that can answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly is going to be the brand new owner of these brand new AirPods. Guys, I wear one of these things, if not both of them, around all day. I'm constantly studying. Now's the time to be as active as possible and start polishing up new skills, polishing up old skills that can generate revenue for you moving forward. And that's what I'm always doing. And these have been by far the best product that I've had. And I've tested out a lot of different earphones. In fact, these dominate my Bose over the year noise canceling headphones. About the same price, but man, these things they by far take the cake. So somebody's going to be very pleased to win these. And if you don't have Apple products or you don't like Apple products, feel free to sell them and you got a little extra coin in the bank. So can't lose either way. We'll see your emails. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, drop a like, become a subscriber, stay healthy, keep cash flowing, and obviously take care. Bye guys.